We want to begin now with some breaking news. Rapper Lil Durk.
I just left the courtroom for the bond hearing for my son at least for the third time. This time it was very fair. The judge was very fair. He wasn't pro-prosecutor. He wasn't pro-defense, but he was pro-justice.
Breaking update in Lil Durk's federal case. Major news dropped today regarding OTF rapper Lil Durk's ongoing case, and it's sending shockwaves across the hip-hop world. Court reporters confirmed that prosecutors have submitted several new pages of evidence they intend to use against Durk. At first glance, that sounds like a huge setback, but here's where it gets interesting. Because the prosecution added new evidence, the trial will now be delayed, which actually opens the door for Durk's legal team to push for a bond release or house arrest arrangement before proceedings officially resume. So while it sounds bad on paper, this move could end up being a blessing in disguise for Durk. To understand the full picture, though, you have to look at the new allegations included in that evidence file. According to the latest filings, the feds now believe Lil Durk was connected to an attempted hit on rapper Quando Rondo back in 2021, an incident that took place at a gas station in Georgia. Inside the courtroom today, the evidence record reportedly stated surveillance footage and witness testimony related to the attempted hit on Bowman, aka Quando Rondo in Georgia. That one line changes everything. It means federal agents have both footage and a cooperating witness, someone allegedly providing details that tie Durk to the Georgia shooting. In other words, the feds believe somebody is talking. This revelation connects directly to a chain of violent events that began after King Von's murder in 2020, a tragedy that sparked years of tension between camps. And now those lingering suspicions about retaliation are resurfacing in federal court. To make matters even heavier, prosecutors have reportedly cited Durk's own lyrics as part of their narrative. In one of his most quoted lines, he raps, "They on my page like slide for Von, I know they trolling me." They're using this as supposed proof of intent, an attempt to show the mindset behind the alleged crimes. In a recent podcast, Durk addressed that very lyric, saying he doesn't even see those comments anymore. Fans took it as a sign of growth, but prosecutors see it as evidence of awareness, that he knows exactly what the streets expect of him. For now, the case grows more complex by the day. The stakes? Higher than ever. Federal case bombshell, the OTF group chat exposed. New details in Lil Durk's case have just hit the courtroom, and this round of evidence has the streets talking like never before. Prosecutors are now taking things to another level. While they're not directly using Durk's lyrics against him this time, they're using something even more calculated. The release dates of his songs, matching them to the exact timeline of the alleged gas station hit on Quando Rondo. They're building a timeline, suggesting that Durk's music dropped right after Key Street incidents, trying to turn art into ammunition. But it doesn't stop there. Sources inside the courtroom reveal that prosecutors are actively pressuring OTF Duty Low to flip on Durk, hoping to turn him into a cooperating witness. Duty, however, is reportedly pushing back hard, making it clear that he wants out of this case completely, telling prosecutors that whatever evidence you have against Durk doesn't involve me.
That's what Didi did. He's basically saying all this evidence y'all got against Durk got nothing to do with me. Why you got me charged with Durk? And that doesn't mean he's going against Durk. That just means he wants his case severed. And I'm telling you, if it's severed, it helps Durk. Because one of the main connective tissue to this conspiracy is saying that Durk told Didi to hire. Didi's saying, I ain't get told to hire nobody, and I ain't hiring nobody. What are you talking about? Why would I hire someone? That's his thing.
The real shocker, though, came when the second batch of evidence was introduced. A leaked OTF iMessage group chat. That's right. Private messages between OTF members are now in federal hands, and the chat logs allegedly expose exactly who's been cooperating with investigators. According to the court documents, Lil Durk is now facing new allegations from federal prosecutors, claiming he ordered hits on certain O Block members who refused to retaliate for King Von's death. The government says they've secured witness testimony from someone claiming Durk personally gave the command, a claim that could escalate the charges even further. The file reportedly reads, Defendant Durk Banks feuded with an O Block member known as Mona Duke over Banks' belief that O Block members failed to properly retaliate for Bennett's passing, aka King Von. When this came out, even Whack 100 jumped online, saying he knew the truth about who's snitching inside OTF, adding more fuel to the chaos.
Life by basically saying he's guilty of for hire. And the only thing that, like, yes, some of these things look suspect. Why'd you go there? Why are these people going there? Why'd you send this message? But nothing. There's no message that they got that says where Durk says, y'all that Quando yet? Nothing says that.
You missing the point.
Okay.
They got a witness already cooperating on that. Been had one. We just ain't seen what they said. It's 3 years. One of the cooperating.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
So
that's co-conspirator too.
Yeah, I don't know. You don't need too much more than that. One of them is cooperating. Then in the paperwork, you got the conversation. They say they had it in and out. The other two was figuring out how they get.
After prosecutors finished dropping their new evidence, Durk's defense team finally stepped up, filing motions and applications to push for Durk's release. A last-ditch effort to get him out before the trial intensifies. Lil Durk's third bond attempt, his team makes a game-changing move. Big news just broke straight out of the courthouse. And this time, it might finally tip the scales in Lil Durk's favor. According to reports coming from inside the courtroom, Durk's legal team made an offer so strong that even the judge couldn't brush it off. This marks the third official attempt at securing bond for the OTF rapper, but unlike the previous two, this one feels different. It's got serious momentum behind it.
Just left the courtroom for the bond hearing for my son for the least for the third time. This time it was very fair. The judge was very fair. He wasn't pro-prosecutor. He wasn't pro-defense, but he was pro-justice. So he listened to all the evidence, and he's going to give a ruling in the next few days about what his position is for the bond. But we were very pleased at how it turned out. So continue, family, friends, and fans, continue to keep us in your prayers, and we thank you. And inshallah, God willing, this be victorious for it, that we have a good ruling in our favor.
Adding to the drama, Durk's father reportedly spoke out, expressing cautious optimism and saying he believes this could be the moment his son finally walks out on bond. The courtroom was tense, the air thick with anticipation. But then something wild happened. The prosecutors themselves started dropping their own evidence. That's right. During the hearing, the prosecution stood up in front of the judge and announced they were voluntarily withdrawing several key pieces of evidence they'd been holding against Durk. You could practically feel the energy in the room shift instantly. One of the main pieces they dropped was tied to Durk's lyrics. Lines prosecutors claimed referenced real-life events. They had originally argued that bars like, "They got an addy, go, got location, go look on the news, see your son screaming no," were linked to an incident involving Quando Rondo. Prosecutors even played a news clip showing Quando screaming no after the shooting, attempting to connect it all back to Durk. Interview.
The search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles and cameras captured the aftermath.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
But now, they've decided to throw out that evidence completely, telling the judge directly, "We no longer plan to use these materials." That's a massive win for Durk's side. The timing couldn't have been better either. With his bond application already pending, this move might have pushed the judge closer to approving Durk's release. The whole courtroom could feel it. Something big just shifted in Durk's favor. Lil Durk's lawyer snaps after hearing, calls the case a complete joke. You could feel the tension leaving that courtroom when the session wrapped up. But not everyone was calm about it. Sources say even Durk's lawyer was furious, openly calling the entire case a joke after the hearing ended. The frustration was clear. The feds built their argument around rap lyrics, and now that they've backed off from using them...
The case is as follows. So there was an indictment that did not name him, right? It named others, and then there was an unindicted person. And then 3 weeks later, that indictment was what's called the first superseding indictment, and it does name him. The indictment was identical, except the unnamed person now became Durk Banks. And this is the really important part, Ak. The second indictment, what's called the first superseding indictment, only had one new fact. It had one new fact, and that was it alleged that there was a video by Durk that celebrated and monetized this.
Interview. Durk's attorney didn't hold back in his post-hearing interview. He told reporters the prosecution has nothing solid, just recycled theories and lyrics that don't prove anything. The anger in his voice said it all. He's tired of seeing artists targeted for their art, especially when the government can't back up its claims with hard evidence. By the end of the long court day, the judge finally spoke, announcing he'll need a few more days to review everything before making his final decision on Durk's bond. Everyone in that courtroom, from the fans to the media to Durk's own family, knows this ruling could change everything. New twist: high-ranking OTF member reportedly flips on Lil Durk. Just when things were starting to look hopeful for Lil Durk's bond release, the feds pulled another shocking move, bringing in a new cooperating witness. And this isn't just anyone. According to updated court records, the alleged snitch is a high-ranking OTF member named Vonnie, someone close enough to know the inner workings of Durk's circle. Documents now show that Vonnie's name has been removed from the Bureau of Prisons database, which usually means one thing. He's been released, likely placed on house arrest under a cooperation agreement. That move alone sent shockwaves through the courtroom because it lined up perfectly with the Fed's pattern of flipping insiders to strengthen their case. But it gets even deeper. Once Vonnie got his hands on a phone after being released, he reportedly texted someone close to him, not realizing that same person would leak the entire conversation straight to investigators. The messages exposed everything. "I'm trying to plea out on a 32, Vonnie allegedly wrote, referencing the base charge for murder for hire. Max is 43 to life. I'd get -2 points for a plea, -1 for early plea, -2 for no background. That leaves me with 27 points. That's 5 to 7 years. It's better than that. I can't go to trial. I might get an elbow. I don't want them to do me like they did them other boys." That last line, "like they did them other boys," reportedly referred to OTF Jam, who's been facing a brutal sentence of his own. Vonnie's fear of the same fate made him crack. Then came the twist nobody saw coming. Vonnie's own father flipped too. Late that same night, reports surfaced claiming Vonnie's father told investigators that his son played a major role in the death of King Von, and that Lil Durk allegedly knew about it. It's a stunning betrayal from both sides of the family. A father against his son, and a crew member against the man who put OTF on the map. The feds just weaponized loyalty, and for Durk, that could be the most dangerous blow yet. DJ Academics drops. Bombshell? Did Lil Durk cut a deal after King Von's death? This whole situation just took an even darker turn, and it's got the entire internet going wild. During a recent stream, DJ Academics directly questioned why Lil Durk would allegedly have any reason to want King Von gone, and the theory he brought up has left fans stunned.
I'm gonna give you this. It's a back door and I got all the pieces. That's all I'm gonna tell you. As Durk asked Vonnie, is it open? Vonnie told him it's off the hinges.
Wait. Are you talking about the Von? Like King Von?
Listen very carefully. When the payment was made to Little Tim, the next day or the same day, Durk asked Vonnie, was it open? This is what he asked him. Was it open? It was the exact words, was it open? He told him it's off the hinges.
Are you saying that Vonnie backdoor King Von? No way. That was right here.
You heard what I just said. Guess what? You need motive first, right? Yeah. I got bankers that'll testify that or will make a contract or make a statement to you and let you know that this is the amount of money he had, this is what he had, this is that, another. You need motive first and foremost. I got text messages from the lawyer letting you know that who told on Durk before, who told on Von before.
Academics pointed to a police file that confirms Durk and Von were co-defendants in a serious criminal case from the infamous Varsity incident in Atlanta. Both men had been facing potential jail time, but when King Von was killed, prosecutors could no longer take the case to trial. What happened next has fueled endless speculation. The case ended in a private settlement. That outcome has led investigators and fans alike to suspect that Durk might have made a quiet deal with the feds, allegedly shifting the full weight of the crime onto Von, who, at that point, was no longer alive to defend himself. It's a theory that, if true, would explain why Durk's charges vanished so suddenly after Von's death.
Why would Durk want Von?
All right, man. Let me give you this. First of all, you didn't sign your rights over. You ain't in no 360 deal. First of all, you can't bring nobody into the business and they surpass you. How you bring me to the table and I pass you up? Don't nobody want their chief spot taken, do they?
That's an interesting
Dude was
thing.
a slack. He was signed to boys. Vaughn wasn't no slack.
That's interesting. I did find out that Vaughn didn't have any contractual ties to Durk like that, which was interesting.
Man, come on, man. He wasn't even signed to him. How's this his friend? He lied on Breakfast Club and said, "Hey, you think your man would be sitting here with $300,000 worth of jewelry on and he not have an attorney? He had a public defender."
Then came the viral tweet that lit the internet on fire. It read, "OTF Vonnie's dad leaking that Durk had Von dealt with is really making me wonder why Durk always hopped on IG Live right after someone died." The post referenced 3 major incidents: King Von, Lul Pab, and FBG Duck, all of whom were connected to violence. And each time, Durk appeared live on Instagram almost immediately after. That pattern has some investigators claiming that Durk uses IG Live as a real-time alibi, broadcasting himself to prove he wasn't physically near the scene whenever tragedy struck. According to reports, even Vonnie's father, the same man who flipped on his son, stood by his story, telling investigators he believes Durk knew exactly what happened to Von and why. The betrayal inside OTF is unraveling faster than anyone imagined, and this latest claim might be the most explosive one yet. More shocking leaks. OTF. Vonnie's father and Lil Ted turned the case upside down. The drama surrounding Lil Durk's case has exploded again, this time with even more unexpected twists. A viral tweet started it all, claiming, "OTF Vonnie's father reveals Vonnie orchestrated Lul Pab and King Von's passing." If this statement holds up in court, it could completely change everything, possibly even leading to Lil Durk being found not guilty in his ongoing federal case. The internet went crazy the moment that tweet hit, with fans and rappers alike flooding social media saying things like, "Please tell me this ain't real." But sadly, the evidence suggests it might be exactly that. Real.
No, he ain't take my advice. He ain't respond no back to me because this is on a tablet. He on a jail tablet when I sent that to him. He ain't respond nothing else to him. I told you he can't take my advice because they playing. They made themselves get caught. This is what come along with it. They wanted to get caught. You understand me?
So, that's what you meant by trenches paint. Okay.
What you mean trenches what?
Was it you that said that? With the whole narrative about Vonnie snitching with the text messages? Like, that's...
Yeah. I don't know who said that, but that was me.
But that was a focus. Everybody was trying to make it seem like that's what the text messages was about.
That's just saying what he finna cop out to and this, that. And with me saying Von, some people like, damn, what he gonna tell on some words on Von?
I ain't gonna lie. I said that in my video. I'm intrigued to know what the Von name was for.
No. He ain't gonna tell him no Von. You gonna tell that just like you orchestrated Lil Pat, you orchestrated this, and guess who you work for?
As wild as it sounds, Vonnie isn't the only one allegedly cooperating. Another name has surfaced, and this one hits even closer to home. OTF Duty Lowe's younger brother, Lil Ted. His name just appeared in new evidence files released today, and what's in those documents has left even veteran Chicago insiders speechless. The files reportedly contain body cam footage of Lil Ted, filmed during his arrest, where he's seen begging police to let him talk. In the footage, he appears panicked, emotional, and desperate, repeatedly offering to tell them about the passings. That phrase alone sent chills through the courtroom because investigators immediately connected it to multiple open homicide cases tied to OTF. Lil Ted, known on the streets as one of Durk's closest insiders, was arrested at a local convenience store after officers found a firearm tucked in his jeans. Once cuffed, the pressure was on. And before even stepping inside the police station, body cam footage shows Ted with tears streaming down his face, pleading, "I swear, I'll tell you all about the passings."
Really?
Dude had it. What about that? A man had it with an extended clip. That's cool though, right?
It was too late though. His charges were already locked in. Still, that one desperate moment opened a floodgate of speculation. If Ted really started naming names, this could mark a major turning point in the case. OTF's unity is cracking from the inside, and every new leak seems to push Durk closer to either freedom or complete destruction. Lil Ted breaks down in custody, while Lil Durk's lawyers fire back with a bold legal move.
Come on. Hey, stop it. Stop it.
I tell you about the money, I swear to God, I tell you about the money, I need to fix my son, I tell you about everything, I swear to God, I tell you, I will tell you, please, I swear, please.
Being placed into the waiting cell, Lil Ted was seen crying his eyes out.
Fresh reports from inside the holding facility reveal Lil Ted completely broke down after his arrest, sobbing uncontrollably while sitting inside a small waiting cell. Officers on the scene say he was desperate, crying, shaking, and begging to talk. He wanted nothing more than to snitch on everything he knew in exchange for his release. You could practically feel the panic through the footage. The pressure had clearly crushed him, and he was ready to spill it all just to escape another night behind bars. Interview. Interview, interview. 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 Now, here's where things got even more confusing. Since Lil Ted's last name matched OTF Duty Low's, the moment word leaked that a member of the family had been cooperating, the internet exploded with wild speculation. Everyone initially thought it was OTF Duty Low himself, but once court files dropped, it became clear it was his younger brother, Ted, who cracked under the pressure. Still, even with all the chaos and snitch rumors, there's a glimmer of hope for Lil Durk. His legal team came out swinging with a brand new strategy that could shake up the entire case. Earlier today, it was officially confirmed that Durk's lawyers filed a new motion to dismiss, arguing that the second superseding indictment against him is too vague to stand in court. Their argument: the prosecution hasn't been specific enough about the so-called bounty they claim Durk offered to have Quando Rondo targeted. In the new paperwork, Durk's team demanded prosecutors produce clear evidence of every single detail, including what exactly was the alleged bounty or reward, who was the intended audience for the offer, when and where was it supposedly made, what coded language are they referring to. Basically, they're calling the government's bluff and forcing them to show their cards. By asking for a bill of particulars, Durk's attorneys are signaling they believe the feds are bluffing, that there's no solid proof of any bounty, order, or music opportunity linked to violence. If the prosecution can't produce these details, the judge may have no choice but to consider dismissing parts of the case. Even with the pressure mounting, this bold legal counterpunch could finally give Durk the upper hand. Chaos behind bars. Lil Durk, reportedly thrown into solitary, feds accused of retaliation. The courtroom tension didn't end when the gavel dropped. It followed Lil Durk straight back into his cell. According to shocking new reports, just 12 hours after his legal team exposed the prosecution for withholding evidence, Durk was suddenly placed in solitary confinement. And the timing has everyone raising eyebrows.
Wait, hold on, you gotta relax for me, because I can't understand it. Relax. What's the number? 7 what you saying, man? We're gonna see what we can do for you, alright? We're gonna see what we can do for you. You gotta relax for me.
Relax, man. I'm gonna get a bus from prison. Relax.
Give me No, I'm saying, what you talking about? I'm trying to get that.
Here's what's wild. Prosecutors are still refusing to turn over the supposed bounty evidence that's central to Durk's murder-for-hire case. Normally, in any serious federal trial, all this information would have been disclosed by now. But Durk's lawyers are convinced the feds don't actually have the proof they claim to have. That's why many believe this solitary confinement stunt was straight-up retaliation, payback for embarrassing the government in open court. Sources inside the facility say that a contraband cell phone was mysteriously discovered inside Durk's cell, leading to his immediate isolation. But fans and legal analysts are skeptical, calling it a setup. It's too convenient, one insider posted. Right after his lawyers make the feds look bad, suddenly he's caught with a phone? The streets are convinced there's more to the story than what's being told. Things escalated further when word broke that Durk had also been involved in a minor altercation inside the jail, which quickly went viral after a Chicago-based blog posted, "Chicago rapper Lil Durk involved in a fight behind bars, now in the hole." The chaos reached social media instantly, with Lil Baby tweeting, "I don't care about nothing else other than Durk right now. Free the bro." Meanwhile, tragedy struck outside the walls. Reports surfaced that Durk's day one homie, OTF Omi Glee, was killed in Chicago, the latest in a string of deadly hits targeting OTF members. Fans were quick to connect the dots. Could this be part of a larger retaliation wave? Even more suspicious, on the very same day OTF members were being targeted, Quando Rondo and Lil Tim both dropped separate interviews, conveniently released within hours of each other. Some fans are calling it a coincidence, but others are convinced it's something much deeper. Could these sudden interviews and Durk's solitary confinement all be part of a bigger game to keep certain truths buried? The timing feels way too perfect.
They got Lil Durk in a hole for basically some BS, and right now we're gonna show the paperwork. They saying that he was caught with a cell phone, and basically that's not true. They trying to keep him in a hole, do a lot of things that they shouldn't be doing or whatever, but they trying to make a point because they saying that me and him is privileged and we got so many things going on, and it's a lot of BS.
Just when fans thought things couldn't get any more unpredictable, a major twist dropped, and it's sending shockwaves through the hip-hop world. During one of his rare interviews, Lil Tim made headlines after speaking directly about Lil Durk, expressing that he wished things had gone differently and that there was no hate. What's wild is that both Tim and Quando Rondo decided to do separate interviews on the exact same day.
Whoever on my side, they got kids and a mama that 100% love them. And at the end of the day, bro, all this bull that we talking about is stupid. That could have been handled a totally different way. It could have been handled to the point where a song and $3-4 million could have came out or whatever. Like that could have got handled in a legit way, in a music way.
No, like shit, I was just protecting my little brother.
When you did finally find out that it was King Von who did it, how'd you feel?
I was like, damn, if Brian did that stupid shit last night, he still would have been alive. That's how I was. But I was like, shit, I ain't no the type person I am. Like, I'm a humble person. I ain't no disrespect to like his mama saying f***ing shit like that. Cause I could easily get on that type of stuff and be clout chasing type. Like, I ain't on that type. I'm a humble person, but it's like, they ain't never popped that shit off. That would have never happened like that.
The timing alone has fans losing their minds online. Why now? Why both of them? And why the sudden shift in tone, praising Durk after years of tension? To many, it feels like something deeper is going on, something the public isn't being told. The streets are calling it strategic peace talk, but others think it's an attempt to control the narrative before Durk's next court date, and then came the real bombshell. Late tonight, Durk's lawyer made a stunning announcement, claiming they have a single piece of evidence that could guarantee Durk's release. While they haven't revealed exactly what it is just yet, the defense insists it's enough to completely change the direction of the trial. Fans are now flooding social media with messages like "Free Durk" and "It's time for justice." Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think this mystery evidence will finally bring Lil Durk home? His legal team says it's coming next week. And according to insiders, this could be the turning point everyone's been waiting for.
First Amendment argument here, right? That this violates the First Amendment. Can you talk about that?
Right, for sure. I mean, I'm expressing myself. I can say the things that I want to say in a rap record or any kind of record. And you could go back and there's country records and there are pop records and there are R&B records that talk about all kinds of things. It's just that there's this notion that with hip hop, quote, glorifying violence, that suddenly now we're going to use these things to prosecute them. But does that mean that the free speech, the First Amendment has gone away? No, absolutely not. He can absolutely rap about what he wants to rap about. And that doesn't mean just because the story is violent.